Alright y'all, it's your boy David, aka Ninja 19. In today's videos I'm gonna be reacting to if you invited to this party, don't go. And the reason I'm doing this is I kinda wanna see my survival skill. Could I escape the situation, or is it cook or escape? Let's see how smart our character is or how dumb our character is, because you know we have a lot of dumb character in movies. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let's go.
I used to think the scariest thing about parties was social anxiety. You know, that agonizing feeling of standing in the corner of some random person's house holding a drink, wishing you were back home, locked in your room playing video games.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the scariest thing about party, in my opinion, is the people around there. If it's your family member, the people you know, but if it's like people you don't know and you don't mess with, it's like, how do I say this? People that push you to do things you don't want to do. If you're in a party and they forcing you to drink, you saying no, I want to drink. They forcing your car. Leave that party immediately, bro. Cause why would you force me to do something I don't want to do? And I think parties. If you're in that situation, bro, my opinion, bro, is for you to get out of here, bro. Get out, bro.
With every piece of junk food you could find. But that one July night last year taught me what real horror actually feels like. I was 22 when this happened. True dread isn't about being alone. It's about being surrounded by dozens of smiling, laughing people and realizing you're the only sane person in the room.
Like I was saying, if you're in a party, you don't feel like you fit in with the people around you. They don't match your vibe. Don't try to fit in, bro. The most hurtful thing you can do to yourself is trying so hard to fit in that you're not being yourself. Be yourself, gang. You can improve yourself, but don't try to fit in.
Particular night was a suffocatingly hot Saturday. The kind of midsummer evening where the air felt like liquid. My coworker, Mark, had practically begged me to come to a pool party. He promised free booze, a huge house, and a beautiful pool. The problem was that I didn't know the hosts. I didn't know anyone who would be there. Still, I was tired of spending every weekend locked away in my room. I wanted to feel alive. I just didn't realize how hard I'd have to fight for it. The house sat at the end of a winding back road. It was technically still within the city limits, but it was tucked away on a dark street in an affluent neighborhood I'd never visited before. When we arrived, it was every bit as impressive as Mark had described. A massive multi-level estate glowed in the darkness. The moment we stepped into the backyard, the atmosphere hit me like a punch to the face. Tiki torches lined the perimeter of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. The smells were everywhere. Chlorine, expensive cologne, barbecue smoke, and the people. Dozens of them. Everyone looked flawless in their summer clothes, already mingling and laughing. Somewhere nearby, ambient electronic music pulsed from hidden speakers. The whole thing felt less like a party and more like a movie set. As I stood by the edge of the pool, watching the blue LED lights ripple beneath the water, an unexpected chill ran through me despite the heat. Something felt off. Everything was too perfect. Mark shouted over the music that he was going to grab us some drinks. Then he disappeared, and that was the last time I saw him. 10 minutes.
Ooh. Okay. First red flag. Okay, before I say first red flag, we had a lot of red flag, but it was not too obvious. You feel me? Everything seemed way too perfect, like a movie scene. I mean, that's not really a red flag. You can call that a red flag, but that's not something you can say that's a red flag. But as soon as my friend disappeared, I'm not gonna be sitting around thinking where did he go. I'm gonna be thinking, where do I found him? Is he using the restroom? Is he still in the restroom? That's my brain right now. I would leave, bro, but nah, I can't leave my friend behind.
Minutes turned into 30. Eventually, I started wandering around the backyard, trying to blend in. At one point, I approached a small group near the outdoor bar. They were friendly. Too friendly. Their smiles were wide and welcoming, but something about them felt forced.
That smile, bro, that the other guy gave, bro, gave me chill. I know it's like cartoon and stuff, but whoever made this animation, bro, peak. I got chill from that game. Yo, I got chill from that game. You know, when you be watching Koei Kenshin, and when you see something scary, he start crying. That's how I'm feeling right now, bro. This is peak. And I'm still playing for and I'm still paying for Netflix.
When I asked if they'd seen Mark, one of the women giggled.
He's probably getting ready for a midnight swim. It's very important that we all get into the pool together. The host insists.
Say that again?
All get into the pool together. The host insists.
This nigga's a homosexual.
Nodded awkwardly and backed away, but her words stayed with me. Then I started noticing things that didn't make sense. Nobody was actually drinking. A guy standing nearby held a red cup tilted sideways, yet the liquid inside stayed perfectly level. Nobody touched the food either. And the music? I suddenly realized it wasn't really a song, just the same hypnotic beat looping over and over again. It had been playing for nearly 40 minutes. Anxiety tightened in my chest. I reached into my pocket for my car keys. Nothing. I checked every pocket. Wallet, phone, no keys. Panic setting in, I walked up to a random guy and asked if he'd seen them. I explained that I must have dropped them somewhere. He just smiled. Then he laughed. A low, unsettling laugh. Nobody leaves before the midnight swim. Then he tilted his head. That was a very stupid thing to say, Leo.
You know something, bro? Do you want to know something, bro? If I was in this situation, gang, look, I'm losing my mind. Y'all playing some trashy music, the vibe are off, and I want to go up to someone and ask them for did you see my key? And they laugh in my face, talk about something I can't leave. I'm an irrational adult. I'm an adult. I leave when I want to leave. And who told you my name? Who told you my name, gang? Yo, I'm telling y'all, car, y'all finna see me in jail. If I'm in this situation, I'm gonna knock you out, gang. Why is you laughing in my face like that? He got his neck too forward. What is that? Cornball, bro. What is wrong with you?
What's that? What's that, brother?
His head. That was a very stupid thing to say, Leo. My blood. I had never told him my name. Without saying another word, I turned and ran into the house. I needed to find Mark. My heart hammered against my chest. Inside, the house was enormous, quiet, maze-like. The music outside was muffled now.
Y'all know what I'm thinking, right? Y'all know what I'm thinking, right? If you know, you know. If you know, you know, bro. If you know, you know.
But that same rhythmic beat still seemed to pulse through the walls. I searched room after room until I found myself standing in a long upstairs hallway. That's when I saw it. Lying beneath one of the hallway lights was Mark's phone. The screen shattered. The entire thing was soaked. A heavy silence settled over the house. I rushed to a nearby window overlooking the backyard. The music had stopped. Below me, the party had changed. Every single guest stood shoulder to shoulder around the edge of the pool. Nobody was talking. Nobody was moving. They were all staring into the dark water of the deep end. Then, every head snapped upward. At the exact same moment, 30 pairs of eyes locked onto me. I stumbled backward from the window and slapped a hand over my mouth. I had to get out. Now. I sprinted downstairs. My sneakers squeaked against the hardwood floor as I rushed to the front door. I grabbed the handle and pulled. Locked. I pulled again. Nothing.
So in this very moment, bro, It's GG's. It's GG's. It's GG's mentally, GG's. But if you're in this situation, you panicking. You're not gonna think how you thinking when you're not panicking. The thing you can do is trying to find a weapon, a knife, or something, and go hide somewhere safe.
My mind raced. Maybe a side window, maybe the basement, anything. Then the patio door opened. The crowd began filing into the house. They didn't run, they didn't scream, they simply walked, slow, synchronized, completely blocking the back exit. Every face wore the same blank smile. Several of them spoke at once, perfectly in unison. It is time to join the deep end. They kept moving forward. The smell of chlorine filled the air. I backed into the foyer wall. Hands reached out, not violently, not aggressively, just enough to guide me toward the backyard, toward the pool. That's when survival instinct took over. My eyes landed on a heavy iron tiki torch mounted near a decorative plant. I ripped free from their grip and grabbed it. With all the adrenaline in my body, I swung. The heavy metal base slammed into the arms of the nearest people. Nobody screamed, nobody cried out, but their smiles faltered for just a second. That was all I needed. I shoved through the crowd and ran into the dining room. Then I hurled the iron torch straight through a massive side window. The glass exploded outward. Without thinking, I dove through the opening. Pain shot through my forearm as a shard sliced my skin. I hit the grass hard, rolled, scrambled to my feet, and ran. I left my car. I left everything. I just ran. Down the dark driveway, past the trees, past the mailbox, past anything that looked familiar. My lungs burned. My legs screamed. But I kept running because I knew one thing. If I stopped, they would drag me into that water. Eventually, the trees gave way to neon lights. A gas station. I burst through the doors, gasping for breath. Blood dripped down my forearm. My chest felt like it was on fire. The clerk took one look at me and immediately reached for the phone. The police arrived within minutes. Soon, I was sitting in the back of an ambulance with a blanket wrapped around my shoulders while a paramedic treated my arm. I gave the officers the address. Then I watched their cruisers speed off into the night. All I could think about was Mark. Where was he? Had he set me up? Had he known what was going to happen? The next day, the police called. Their update made my stomach drop. When officers arrived at the property, the house was completely dark. The pool was empty, not drained, abandoned, filled with leaves, branches, and debris. A rusted real estate sign sat out front. According to records, the property had been foreclosed on and abandoned for more than 2 years. There was no party, there were no guests, and there was no sign of Mark. They eventually found my car parked a block away, inside an old shed. My keys were never recovered. Whenever I tell people this story, they laugh. They say it must have been a prank. They say Mark probably ghosted me and disappeared. But every time I scroll past his contact in my phone, I remember what I saw that night. And I know what happened. Mark became part of the midnight swim. Maybe I should feel guilty. Maybe I should have tried harder to find him. But the truth is, I survived. I trusted my instincts. I fought back. I escaped. And whatever was waiting in that pool never got me. I don't know what was in that house. And honestly, I don't want to know. Because I survived the deep end. And somehow, I made it back to dry land.
Whew, whew, that was scary. I didn't say anything in the last part because I didn't want to ruin the last part for y'all. Hopefully you guys enjoy this reaction videos. I know I did do a lot. I feel like I should have done better, but that's for next time. I did have a lot of time to edit this video because time is running short. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I didn't make this video. It's obviously the animation was made by him. Beautiful animation. Or if you want to watch more of these scary videos, go to his channel and check him out. Thank you, and thank you.